Tonight we report on an arson conviction for a woman who set her home on fire, and a bill to add a surcharge to the Gorge Amphitheater tickets moves forward in the state legislature. What's going on in sports, Bob?
Thanks, Alan. The Huskies and Cougars land their top recruits on National Signing Day, and Oregon gets past Washington on the hardwood. Let's take a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, we have a wet weather pattern for the beginning of the weekend. I'll let you know who will see the heaviest amount of rainfall for the start of the weekend just ahead with our extended forecast.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
A Moses Lake woman is going to prison for setting her mobile home on fire and lying about the contents. A jury convicted 47-year-old Maria Hernandez Martinez in Grant County Superior Court of arson, making false or misleading statements to a public servant, and false claims. Judge John Nodell sentenced her to 2 years and 6 months in prison. Hernandez Martinez set her Road 4 Northeast mobile home on fire using gasoline in August 2012. The mobile home had been replaced in 2009 after her previous home had caught on fire. Investigators found traces of the gasoline near one of the walls close to an air conditioner. Hernandez Martinez initially told investigators she lost a leather handbag with $3,800 in cash in it and 2 televisions in the fire. Investigators didn't find any sign of the cash or televisions. Soap Lake Council member Robert Brown continues to be under fire for nearly triggering an early annexation election. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Soap Lake City Councilman Robert Brown, who is being pressured by fellow council members to resign, said he is still considering that option after he defended himself at Wednesday night's council meeting.
Still thinking about it, but the attitude of council and the terrible assassination that I took at the previous meeting, it still makes me feel unwanted.
Brown is under fire for nearly triggering an April ballot proposing the city of Soap Lake's annexation into Grant County Fire District 7. Documents that Brown delivered to the Grant County Commissioners and the County Auditor's Office on January 5th called for an April election when council members on January 7th discussed and agreed to delay filing paperwork. The council's intent was to time submission of documents to schedule a November vote within the city and fire district. Council members said this would give city and fire district officials adequate time to educate voters on the annexation proposal. Brown defended himself Wednesday night. It resulted in a heated exchange with Councilwoman Joanne Rushton, who filed the complaint against Brown.
You did not say one word that said, oh, on the 5th, I took the letters up there. We talked about it for an hour. You never said a word about this letter. We have always talked about November. We never said we wanted it in April.
I beg to differ with you. You voted for this
Yes,
ordinance.
you did.
And
it doesn't mean it has to be filed today.
Brown's actions led council members on January 21st to formally admonish him for acting without the council's legal authorization. Brown called in sick and did not attend that meeting. The council, at City Attorney Catherine Kennison's recommendation, voted January 21st to void the documents Brown submitted to the county commissioners. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
Ordered not to talk to her.
Moses Lake emergency personnel were recognized Thursday morning for their life-saving CPR efforts during 3 cardiac arrest calls in the past few months. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
More than a dozen emergency personnel were honored in Moses Lake Thursday morning for their CPR life-saving efforts. Members of the Moses Lake Fire and Police Departments and MAC Dispatch were on hand to recognize their co-workers' life-saving actions during 3 incidents involving cardiac arrest. In all 3, high-performance CPR was used to save the patients. Assistant Fire Chief Pete Kunjara said it takes everyone to have a successful CPR save.
It takes a lot of different people in the community. Start out with the dispatcher, the family member who know how to do CPR, and police department.
Moses Lake EMTs use a more intense and effective version of CPR called high-performance CPR that requires faster and deeper chest compressions. The department's EMT instructor explains.
Okay, high-performance CPR is a group effort that is a minimum of 6 people on the scene in order to do it efficiently. So you have 2 people that are trading off doing CPR. Nobody does CPR for more than 2 minutes at a time because of the high performance on it. You lose your efficiency after 2 minutes. It's a group thing that is done with high training. It's manpower intensive, so it takes 6 people to do it correctly.
This is Joe Utter for iFiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
Short break, we'll be right back.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of these many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
There's something new and exciting happening right now at your nearest Toyota dealer. It's the arrival of the all-new 2014 Corolla, now featuring a new stylish exterior, plus a premium interior loaded with technology, including Toyota's N-Tune multimedia system with navigation. Corolla has definitely evolved. The best part is, right now you could take advantage of special introductory savings. The new 2014 Corolla, available at any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi everyone, I'm Cristina Sanchez with your One News Weather Center, brought to you by your Bud Cleary Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. We do have an unsettled weather pattern for the rest of the week. Warming trend will continue for this weekend and into next work week. The wet pattern for the first part of the weekend will be heavier across the Cascades and also along the coast. We will have a brief break in the wet weather for this Sunday for us here in our Columbia Basin. And now we did start off the day in the upper 30s as the low temperatures. Our average normal low for this time of the year is in the mid-20s, and today's high right around 50 degrees. We do have those mild temperatures, which will continue into this weekend. Our normal high temperature for this time of the year is right around 40 degrees, and the record high was back in 1991 when high temperature was in the upper 50s. For Moses Lake, they did start off the day with similar conditions, high temperatures in the upper 30s, average low is in the mid-20s, and for them, high temperature as well in the upper 40s throughout the day, and the record high in Moses Lake is 52 degrees back in 1987. Will actually be in the low to mid 50s for next week and even into this weekend. Now right now temperatures are in the mid 40s, mostly cloudy skies will continue with winds blowing from the south between 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now we do have cloud cover in place into our inland northwest. Now we do have here in our Columbia Basin mostly cloudy skies and also heavier amounts of rainfall throughout the night and into this Friday afternoon. Heavier amounts of rainfall throughout the night as well into throughout this Thursday along the Cascades and also along the coast. Now there was light snow precipitation across higher elevations and also along the Cascades, but for the rest of the week we do have precipitation in form of rain along the Cascades and also for the coast. And in the northwest, we'll continue to see rainfall throughout this Friday afternoon, and cloud cover will continue across the area even into the Saturday and Sunday, when we'll have that brief break from the showers here in our Columbia Basin. Now let's take a look at our temperatures for Friday afternoon. Highs across the coast will be in the mid-50s for Seattle. Long Beach, high temperatures will be in the mid-50s with showers that will continue all throughout this Friday afternoon. In the Yakima Valley, high temperatures will be in the low 50s, and also breezy conditions in the inland northwest with highs in the low to mid 40s. Rainfall will continue as well throughout the night and into this Friday afternoon, as well as for us here in Ephrata with highs in the low 50s. Now we do have mild temperatures continuing into next work week, and also showers making a comeback on Monday, but dry conditions by the middle of next week. This weather segment was brought to you by your Bud Clear Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
What better way to start the new year than in a new Toyota? We're making it easier than ever with 3 ways to save. Your choice of financing as low as 0%, up to $2,500 in customer cash back, or low payment leases on your favorite Toyota model, like RAV4, now just $199 per month. Just pick your favorite Toyota, the best savings options for you, and drive away. It's that easy, so start your year right. For full details, see any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
Nigel Williams-Goss scored a team-high 19 points to lead 4 Dogs in double figures, but Washington fell to Oregon 78-74. Andrew Andrews added 14. Sean Kemp Jr. had 12. Darren Johnson finished with 11, and the Dogs dropped to 3-7 in conference play. The Ducks' Joseph Young knocked down a game-high 32 points to surpass 2,000 for his career. Young, who scored 916 points in his first 2 seasons at Houston, floated in a driving shot with 23 seconds left for the winning points. Young, who now has 2,002 points, is the 5th active NCAA Division I player to reach the milestone. Yesterday was National Signing Day for college football recruits, and the Washington Huskies inked their top dog. Coach Chris Peterson believes he found something special in quarterback Jake Browning. Browning from Granite Bay, California, set national records for both touchdowns in a season with 91 and 229 in just 3 seasons. He finished his career with 16,775 passing yards. Browning was the first high school player to throw for 60 or more TDs or for 5,000 yards in 3 straight seasons. The Huskies also signed local recruit Trey Adams from Wenatchee. Adams, a 6'8", 283-pound offensive lineman, is an AP and Seattle Times first-team 4A All-State player. He was also named Columbia Basin Big 9 Conference Lineman of the Year. The Washington State Cougars received 22 commitments from their recruits. Cornerback Treshawn Broughton is expected to contribute immediately. Broughton attended Tustin High School in Tustin, California, and spent 2 years playing ball at Fullerton Junior College. He is replacing Daquan Brown in the starting lineup, who was dismissed for an unspecified violation of team rules. Brown's loss was particularly costly since he was both the team's best defensive back and its leading tackler. Broughton appears to have qualities that could help mitigate Brown's losses as the Cougars replace one aggressive junior cornerback with another. We'll check out this monster slam in the Atlanta Hawks-Washington Wizards game last night. The Hawks' Kyle Cover controls the rebound and throws the outlet pass to Mike Scott. Bradley Bales files in for the block, but Scott throws it down in Bales' face, and the Hawks and their fans go crazy. Check out the replay as Scott flies in and Bale gets posterized. The Hawks got the win, and Scott takes home the play of the day. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
A spotlight story tonight is about the Columbia Basin Technical Center's engineering department that's blending classic equipment with cutting-edge technology. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Welcome to Columbia Basin Technical School's Toy Shop. The engineering department at CB Tech seems like a traditional shop on the surface, but a further look shows a blending of classic equipment like saws, drill presses, and sanders with cutting-edge technology like 3D printers. Chris Whiteman took over the program after 6 years in Ephrata and takes a straightforward approach to educating his students.
My whole goal of the program is to get students ready for college, get them ready for the next level of education, whether it's college, university, or even going into a trade. I want them to be ready for the next level. That's my whole goal behind this program. And for an example, I knew when I was going through high school, there was very little support out there for students in the means of preparing for engineering at the university level. And by knowing what I went through as a college student with my engineering classes, I'm able to kind of convey what I figure would help prepare them for that next level, kind of make it so they can have more success than even I did.
Senior Melissa Gallardo said she's pursuing a career in engineering, and the diversity of CB Tech's program is helping her get ready for college.
I like the variation of the topics. We're doing robotic arms, and then we're going to learn how to make biodiesel, which I think is very useful because it gets your feet wet to everything engineering. So we get a little bit of chemical engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. So then when you go into the engineering field, you'll kind of have an idea of what you like to do so that you don't have to, try out everything because you've already tried it out here.
Fellow senior Joseph Friedbauer is looking to biology for a career path, but was part of the brain trust behind the department's entry in the first robotics competition. He says the students' collaboration was essential to getting the project moving.
Originally, we had a little brainstorm. We called both AM and PM in here. I'm in the AM. This is the PM class. We called everybody in, threw ideas on the board, on paper, anything. And the scissor lift was a pretty common one. And then during the afternoon, I'm over in the coding class. So I already knew how to do some coding.
Whiteman says exposing his students to different ideas and concepts will pay off for them in the long run.
It's to get their feet wet. That's the biggest thing. Because in this area, I have to hit everything from getting them ready for college, to getting them ready for a trade, to basically expose you to a bunch of different areas so that way they're not going to go to some job and be like, I don't like this job, I wish I'd known wouldn't like this job before I should get into the job. But at least if they have some experience in a content area such as CNC machines, working with composites, doing engineering, working with 3D modeling programs, working with 3D printers, at least they'll know, I really like this, or they know, wow, I can't stand this. So that information alone is going to give them a heads up over anybody else who'd go into it blindly. So that's probably the best way to look at it, I think.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFiber One News.
And we'll be right back after this.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Have you been to iFiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting iFiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your #1 news source in the Columbia Basin is iFiber1.com. Check it out today.
Welcome back. A Moses Lake man will serve 30 days in jail for fleeing from police in September and stealing a car in December. Monty Dent, a 22-year-old Moses Lake man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to taking a motor vehicle without permission and reckless driving. Prosecutors initially charged Dent with attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle in the September case, but the charge was dropped as part of a plea agreement. Dent had no previous felony convictions and was sentenced to 30 days in jail and to continue mental health treatment. A police officer spotted Dent on September 24th riding a motorcycle on Interstate 90 at about 120 miles per hour. The pursuit ended when Dent stopped on Juniper Drive. In December, Dent stole a Ford Mustang his father was storing at his home. Deputies stopped the vehicle at the intersection of Canterbury Drive and Ironwood Drive. A state bill allowing a $1 surcharge per ticket at the Gorge Amphitheater moves closer to becoming a law. Senate Bill 5000 allows the Grant County Commissioners to add the surcharge to tickets at the Gorge. The money would go to fund the Quincy Valley Medical Center and Grant County Fire District 3. The Senate bill passed in the Government Operations and State Security Committee and was referred to the Ways and Means Committee for a vote. A proposal in the House is scheduled to be reviewed. Quincy Valley Medical Center officials claim the surcharge is necessary to offset the unpaid medical bills caused by concertgoers going to the hospital. The surcharge is expected to generate roughly $240,000 a year. City officials stated the money is necessary for the hospital to get out of debt, which is likely to affect a pending city council decision about whether to lend the hospital $1.5 million. U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse joined 87 other representatives calling for an end to a 9-month slowdown in West Coast ports. The contract dispute has caused delays for products leaving and coming into Puget Sound ports. Grant County Economic Development Council Executive Director Jonathan Smith said the slowdown has impacted industries and agriculture in the county, forcing businesses to turn to air cargo to get items they need. The representatives are asking the union and the company involved to reach a resolution. They stated the slowdown is impacting businesses across the country. The representatives hoped a federal mediator would be able to end the dispute, but they are concerned the negotiations aren't moving forward and a shutdown is possible. They suggested a 10-day shutdown in West Coast ports could cost $21 billion and affect 169,000 jobs. In Northwest news, as state lawmakers discuss the possibility of raising the minimum wage, there's also a push to lower the state minimum wage for teenagers. KOMO's Keith Eldridge has the story.
Right now, the state minimum wage is $9.47 an hour. There's a proposal to allow employers to pay teenagers 15% less than that during the summer months and in training situations. That amounts to $8.05 an hour.
And there's been a sort of a generation of kids that have lost the work ethic.
Republican State Senator Michael Baumgardner says the current minimum wage puts teens at a disadvantage in trying to find a job.
And there's a lot of employers who want to put teens to work, but just don't see enough value with them during the summer months to put them to work.
We believe a teen wage will allow employers to make the investment in the teens as they gain these skills. It will also help both the teen and the employer.
I think it's not a great idea.
The teens we spoke with don't like the proposals.
805, that's not enough money to sustain coming to school every day.
I feel like that's not fair to make someone younger work as
much as someone else but pay them less.
This is not about training or giving youth an opportunity. This is simply a race to the bottom and trying to pay workers less.
Last year, these same bills were passed by the Senate committee and never made it to the Senate floor for a vote. Well, this year, Senator Bob Gardner hopes it at least gets there and over to the House, where its fate is uncertain. The House plan is to raise the minimum wage statewide to $12 an hour, phased in over 4 years. They plan to pass that bill and send it to the Senate.
We're going to go through that process, and whatever comes over the Senate, we'll consider when it gets here.
With such polar opposite views of what the minimum wage can do, it's entirely possible neither plan will get to the governor's desk for signing. In Olympia, Keith Eldridge, KOMO 4 News.
And that's going to do it for us here at I-501 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.